Hello, beautiful people. Namaste. How are you? Today, I want to talk about love, relationships. What are relationships? What are your connections? What is love? And does astrology give you pointers? I know that this newspaper and magazine kind of pop astrology has all these compatibility signs, and then Vedic astrology has this entire table which we call the Gun Milana, or the matching of qualities to ascertain whether a marriage will be compatible or not. There is this craving that we have for a compatible match. The basic idea behind it is that we'll go out in the world and we'll fight, we'll compete with everybody. But once we get home, we want to put down our defenses and be secure, be protected under a roof along with people accept us unconditionally. Truth is that it does not happen often. Why? Because we are sparks of energy who are just having a physical incarnation. In this physical incarnation, our motive is to learn, to evolve, to deal with our past traumas, deal with our blocks, and hopefully break through into a higher form of vibration. For that, we need to be triggered. Nobody who is totally secure, totally comfortable is going to grow and learn. We are surrounded by our partners, love, business partners, and also our spouses. We are surrounded by our parental figures, our neighbors, our siblings, and later on our children. These are very close connections, and these are always triggering us. It's almost as though they are pushing us to grow, to evolve. So look around yourself. Look at the people who you surround yourself and ask yourself, is this a fated karmic connection? Or is it love? Normally, it's a mix of both. You are compatible to a certain extent, which is why you have forged a close connection with this person. But at the same time, this person has come into your life, into your orbit for a purpose. And that purpose has nothing to do with let's play house and make babies and be happy forever. Normally, that purpose is that you are both going to trigger each other. You are going to argue, you're going to fight, you're going to fight together, you're going to fight against each other on this journey through this earthly incarnation so that you can grow and heal traumas and evolve. And this shows in your birth chart. It's a very beautiful and interesting phenomenon. Did you know that even an adopted child has resonance with the birth chart of the parents? It is fascinating. Now, let me ask you, are you ready for a relation? And when you got married or when you got into a relationship, were you ready for that relationship or not? Believe it or not, that also shows in the birth chart. So let me elaborate. Ask yourself, where do I feel most guarded in my relationship? Where is it that I cannot honestly discuss issues with my partner? Another question to ask. What early experiences have shaped my beliefs about love and worthiness? And what are the areas that are stopping me from receiving the love that the other person has for me? And the third question, how can I redefine vulnerability from being a source of weakness to a source of strength? Do you know where you find the answers to these questions? In the position of Mars, Venus, and Saturn in your chart. If there is a challenging aspect of square or opposition, that shows where your fear is, where you feel vulnerable, and where there are potential blocks against self-worth. Let me explain it. Venus is a planet of love and connection. If it's forming a challenging aspect to Saturn, the planet of discipline restriction, there is a block. There is a sense of inhibition. the person cannot express his love freely. Why? Because the person either thinks that expressing love makes the person weak, or the person feels unworthy and so builds a wall. Normally, the person is feeling that he is not good enough, and that leads to a habit of trying to fix what isn't broken. There is a barrier. When we experience these blocks in self worth or a fear of vulnerability, there are a lot of remedies that we do in a healing session to help regain confidence, to gain mastery over the emotions. Normally, when I'm doing a healing session with a person, I prefer reading the birth chart. When I read the birth chart, I know where which planet is and where the challenging planets are. And normally, the healing modality lies in the same house as where the challenge is. Saturn's energy is there to teach boundaries that affirm our worth. They are not meant to restrict connections. So we have to teach the client to give themselves permission to say no, to establish boundaries, to love themselves. When they start loving themselves, then they learn how to share themselves. First, in very small ways, to trust their close friends, their loved ones, and then slowly they can open up to others. Another aspect which I find very interesting is Mars in a hard aspect to Venus or the moon. Now, these trigger themes like passion over harmony, or they bring emotional reactivity into play. See, Mars is passion, Mars is drive. It's a planet of action. When it is in a difficult aspect with Venus, the planet of love, of harmony, or Moon, which is all about emotion, about being vulnerable, being in love, it can create a dynamic where passion and harmony clash with each other. When these energies collide, there is a action which I can only describe as push and pull. Mars is pushing you forward, and these emotional planets are trying to pull you back. So the person craves connection, but at the same time also craves stability. And these can lead to inner conflict or friction. Mars energy is impulsive. It is going to push forward, and the moon will make you cry. Venus will try to combat the emotion. Every time you're going to talk emotion, Venus and Mars will bring sex into the picture. These push and pull between emotional planets and Mars brings very unhealthy ways of coping with the energy. The unhealthy ways are normally tears, emotional manipulation, choosing sex. So the foundation is not built on mutual understanding. For this, again, there are treatments, there are modalities. A person has to be absolutely open and honest. Clarity is the key when we are addressing reactivity, and there is regular breath work that can help calm the person down, make the person engage in a dialogue without fighting, without arguments. Questions are asked like, when do I notice myself reacting impulsively with the person I'm in love with? And how do I balance my need for independence and my desire for closeness? Then how can I bring patience into relationship? There are a lot of DIY tips that I can give you to find out whether your relationship is, you know, good for right now, good for just time pass. If you have the foundations to build on this relationship, or this relationship has come into your life as a karmic one, and once you learn the lesson, the relationship will fade away from your life. These are very interesting dynamics. If in your natal chart you have Venus in Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio brings intense relationships, transformative relationships. These relationships have deep magnetic attractions, but these attractions have a karmic undertone to them. See, Scorpio energy is all about emotional depth. about rebirth, hinting that individuals with Venus may encounter partners who push them to confront their innermost desires, innermost fears, deep buried desires. Sometimes these desires can be very quirky or kinky. These surface when you have Venus in Scorpio, Venus in Pisces. These can come out as very intense and spiritual relationships. These relationships will destined, fated, and many times the partner, person with Venus in Pisces, manifest into their life. This partner has been with them for many incarnations, several lifetimes. Now, Venus in Taurus or in Libra. Venus is the ruler of both Taurus and Libra. So these partnerships are very balanced, very harmonious partnerships. However, there is an overriding desire for beauty, for luxury, for material comforts. These desires or cravings are basically unresolved karma of attachment. Another interesting one is Venus with Rahu or Ketu. If Venus is conjunct with the South Node, this is a past life connection. There are unresolved emotional matters. There is baggage from a past life emotional connection. The bond is extremely familiar. From the first encounter, they have this feeling that they've known each other forever through previous lives. And this person has come into your life to resolve a past conflict, a past issue. There is a karmic bond there. So the connection will be very deep, but the challenge will also be very immense. Now, if Venus is conjunct with Rahu, this relationship comes to support your future growth. The connection is destined and it is all designed to make you evolve. It is going to be more of a mentor mentee kind of a relationship because the other person is teaching you lessons in your life, lessons that you need to learn. This relationship will have a lasting impact on you. Even after the person fades away from your life, you will recall this person with love and respect. Now, if Venus is in any kind of aspect with Saturn, these are solidly karmic bonds and lessons. Venus conjunct with Saturn or square with Saturn. This is a karmic relationship. It'll be binding, it'll be challenging. The relationship is going to be long, maybe lifelong. Maybe you will marry this person. Also, this relationship comes with patience, with responsibility, with enduring love. This aspect can indicate a relationship where the souls that meet need to work their emotional challenges and build a solid foundation. They have come to a resolution of sorts. If Venus is opposed to Saturn, there is unspoken love. There will be blocks to expressing this love freely, often because there is a past life issue, some kind of baggage. There will be fear, there will be attraction, there will be a pull, but you will not feel like expressing this because maybe you feel that person is not worthy of you, or maybe you feel that you are not worthy of that kind of love. It is basically unreadiness. But there is always a very intense attraction towards each other. Another interesting karmic connection is Pluto with Venus. Pluto is transformation, it is rebirth, the subconscious. And when it interacts with Venus, there is intense, deep rooted karmic tie. Now let's talk about Venus conjunct or square Pluto is transformative relationship. The bond is magnetic. Again, there is a pull, but this pull brings with itself very toxic emotions. It will trigger insecurities, it will trigger deep rooted fears. And this relationship can help you evolve, can help you resolve these fears, but this relationship will not last. It is here to heal those insecurities and those fears. Venus opposite Pluto. These relationships can be very rewarding, but at the same time, it is stressful. It is going to test you. It is going to test your strength, your commitment to the relationship. There is a past life connection which requires healing, and every time you meet this person or you spend time with this person, it triggers you. It is very exhausting. Now, 10th house placements. See, Venus is opulence, luxury. Venus is love. Venus is comfort. And when Venus is in any relationship with 12th house is ending. It's spirituality. It is past life. It is giving up. When these two come together, there are a lot of issues in play. 12th house is known as the house of secrets, of the subconscious, of past life influences. If Venus is in the 12th house, this is unacknowledged love. It is secret love. There is a mysterious, clandestine kind of quality to relationships. There is a karmic attraction to this person from a past life that has been manifested this life to resolve unfinished business. It suggests a need to embrace vulnerability, to confront that hidden issue, to bring unconscious issues to light. When Venus and Neptune aspect the 12th house, there is a spiritual and intuitive connection. These relationships are manifested in this life to bring empathy into play. These are karmic relationships. These require forgiveness. These require acceptance. These require tolerance. So these relationships come into this life as a cry for understanding. This person has come for forgiveness into your life, or this person has come into your life so that he has to forgive. There is a past life wound that has to be healed. Again, treatment of these kind of relationships requires bringing authenticity into and acceptance into the relationship. See, karmic relationships are very challenging, but karmic relationships are normally very healing also. So, if you and your partner are going through any kind of issues, ask yourself, why has this relationship manifested into your life? Talk to an astrologer. What has brought this person into your life? Why you are not being able to break up or move past this relationship? What is the issue that has to be resolved or healed? Remember, a relationship, whether it is love, whether it is karmic, the placement of Venus in your chart, the placement of Mars in your chart, they are both a mirror and a pathway. A mirror that shows you where your blocks are, where your failings are, where your issues are, and a pathway to heal, to resolve, to evolve. By understanding our karmic ties, we can enrich our connections. We can heal, we can grow, we can have a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Our lives get much richer. Thank you for listening to me. This is Ritu Lalit, astrology healer. If you like this video, please press the bell icon, like and subscribe, and I'll meet you in another video. Thank you. Namaste.